Alright, so I think one thing before I export these into a game engine, I want to deal with these blanks kind of going into each other. Even though it's actually not all that obvious that they are, honestly. Still though, they are. And that bothers me very slightly. So I'm gonna go into Blender, and it should be these right around here. The issue is I have the high and low together. So I wonder if I can move this like 0.001. Oh, that's too small. Okay, grab X 0.05. Way too big. X 0.005. That's kind of the issue too. So okay, I think I'm going to grab X 0.002. Then come to this other one and grab X minus 0.002. Did I create a gap? I believe I did. A narrow one, but that's okay. I don't know, maybe I could do a little more. Like around these two. So I'm gonna move this on the X 0.002, then the other one X minus 0.002. And I'm being very specific because I want to duplicate those actions on the low poly version. I also want to delete my base because I've kinda tampered with it. Wait. Yeah, I deleted the base but not the complete hierarchy. I want to delete hierarchy. And once I fix my low poly version, not that the poly's actually different, but you know, glossing over that small detail. So this time I'm going to do both together. Grab X minus 0.002. Okay, so these should be the same again. Now I'm going to duplicate my low collection and rename it to base. Because I've just been working on the low and high. But these should be good again. And I moved it so small, I don't think the slight UV stretching we get is worth redoing the UV map. So I'm actually gonna leave it. And I'm just gonna export the high and low poly version. Again, I'm gonna rebake my maps, get these all imported into Substance Painter. Might not even super need to rebake the maps, I'll see what it looks like. Nah, I need to rebake them. They are still really close though. I might not have moved them enough. It's hard to really tell inside a Blender. Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna move them a bit more. And move it over 0.002 again. This time I'm gonna do these three, actually. Okay, it looks like we're getting some more visible separation there now. I'm just going to go ahead and export the new high version. Then I'll go over and do the same to the low. .002. Grab these. Minus .002. And I'm going to do the base by hand this time, because they're almost identical. Okay. I'm going to export the low. Then import that back into Substance. And yeah, we do just need to rebake though, but you can see there is a little visual gap. But we have a bunch of texture information around there from when there wasn't. So it does make it a little weird looking and hard to see. We just need to rebake. And all that should work out. And I'm going to export this here into Unreal. I've gone ahead and made a wooden table folder. I think I'm going to make a material wooden table. Wait, I said material, but I just made another folder. I did that. Yep. Okay. Wooden table. That's what I meant to do. And how's the bake coming? Okay, it's done now. See, no longer is the table inside itself. That's what we like to see. All is well. And so now I'm going to go ahead and export these. And you can see I still have the UnrealEngine template. I'm going to export PNG 8 bits with dithering to a textures UE4 folder, because I do plan on exporting this for Unity as well this time. Gonna broaden my horizons here, as though I've never worked with Unity. I mean, I shipped a ridiculously poor, I mean, not really poor, it's just really simple indie game with Unity. Unity's the engine I cut my teeth on, but yeah, I have sort of since moved to Unreal. But that is all rather beside the point. We are here to bring our models into games. So now I got... Oh, I should have brought on the FBX while I was at it. I'm gonna bring in the textures. I'm gonna bring in our wooden table low. And yeah, we got combined meshes on. Everything else should be good. And import all. Oh, yeah, it will bring in this table material I don't care about. I guess I could just probably edit this instead of using the wooden table. But screw that. I'm gonna force delete it. Probably more optimal than this whole make a new material. But anyway, that is beside the point. So I'm gonna get all these lined up. and RGB from our base color map, the base color, RGB from the normal to the normal, and I do believe this combo map here, the occlusion roughness metallic, I believe the occlusion is red, green is roughness, and blue is metallic. So that should all be good. I'm gonna put that here actually. And I'm gonna bring up our table. I'm gonna click on the wooden table material. Click on this to apply it. The lighting in Unreal's really bringing out the lightness of the top of the table. Unreal does seem to have just much brighter lighting by default than like any of the environments inside of Substance. So we might want to darken those boards a bit, since it does, or you know, maybe you like that. I think it's a little too different. But hey, here it is. It has about, I can't even really, I'm gonna go into Blender to see. Yeah, so that is a 3,400 triangles. That's pretty cool. Let's assign it an LOD group. Yeah, assign it small prop. Let's see how Unreal does. Oh, that was very fast. So we have LOD 0, LOD 1. Very nice. That's a detail retained. LOD 2. You can see it's changing the shading there a little bit. That's slightly unfortunate. And LOD 3, it is annihilated. So yeah, we might need to play with those LOD settings. I don't know. Let's see if we notice LOD 1, LOD 2. Oh, we're gonna notice LOD 3, aren't we? There's no way. When's it gonna switch? Okay, Unreal. Actually, I can't tell how horrible it is from back here. I still feel like, yeah, I feel like I saw that transition. Maybe not. I didn't. No. Maybe a little. We could play with that though. This might just be too low of a triangle count. We might need to, if we wanted this to basically make a proxy mesh that's like our block out, where this is one cube and then that we could like get rid of the inner frame maybe. I don't know, you know, simplify it. I think for now I'm just going to change the number of LODs to 3, because that last one is pretty horrible. Honestly, LOD 3 here, no, LOD 2 is pretty low poly. I mean, 800 triangles, that's definitely not bad. This whole table, pretty low poly. Or not particularly high poly, that is. It's pretty simple, but it looks pretty good. Let's go ahead, put it in game. Very nice. Gonna click play. Heck yeah. That's our table. Maybe a little tall. Maybe should shorten the legs a little. Maybe you want to be tall, but I do think it's probably a little tall. It should be shorter. For sure. For sure the legs need to be shorter. Other than that, I like it. I like it a lot. Heck yeah. Alright. So that is our table in Unreal. I think it looks rather nice. Quite good, really. I'm pleased. Alright, I'm just gonna save all there. And now, let's see if I can, without error, bring this into Unity. Now, one thing I need to do is export the textures for Unity. And for that, I'm going to select the Unity 5 standard specular. I forget where. I don't think that'll... I can't remember if that changes the normal mode from DirectX to OpenGL by default. Which is probably like the only other thing you really need. Where... I forget where that is. I feel like it's somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's smart enough to know. I'm just gonna export it and see if it's fine or if it's awful. And maybe do like a search or something. Because I forget where you go to change that. It's too uncommon that I want to export textures for the different engines back to back. I've done it before, I just can't quite remember. So, okay. We've got our Unity textures now. So I'm going to drag these in here. And create a material. And so we're going to drag this onto the albedo. This should be our metallic map. It's just black because nothing's metallic. Then we have our normal map, which Unity never says is a normal map by default, but it can detect that. You just have to click Fix Now. And I believe our albedo has our roughness or smoothness, as Unity would call it. I'm just going to bring this in, and oh yeah, Unity doesn't do combining meshes, so you might want to, well, not automatically, you might want to reduce the number of static meshes and optimize this. For Unity, you might want to combine all of these now that they're baked. You won't want to combine them before you bake and texture it, but after it's baking, after you've baked all your maps and textured it, you can combine all the objects inside Blender here to make it one object, and then use that one mesh in Unity. That would be better optimized, because right now it's treating all of these as individual meshes, which is very unnecessary. Except, one thing we can do since they're individuals, we could disassemble our table. But I don't think there's a lot of value in that. And the only reason you don't want to join it before you bake is, like if you remember all that texture bleeding we were getting, yeah, you'd get a lot of that, maybe even worse. So here our table is in Unity in a default scene.